Spitz enjoyed great popularity in Germany, where selection work with the breed began in the 18th century. By this time, white Spitz were bred mainly in Eberswalde and Pomerania, grey ones along the Rhine. Black Spitz was bred in Wurtenberg, where it was mainly used to protect vineyards. The German Wolf Spitz stands out as a separate breed, the largest, strongest, with a more lush and coarse coat. Its distribution is the areas of Germany around Düsseldorf, Aachen, and Krefeld. In the same historical period, the nobility draws attention to the hardworking Spitz, who were mostly rabble dogs, and the Spitz turn into pets. Work begins on the miniaturization of the breed. In a short time, through selection, dogs were obtained 2 times smaller than their ancestors. From 14 kilograms their weight decreased to 7 kilograms. In Germany, since 1899, breed enthusiasts created the German Spitz Association and developed a standard for dogs of various sizes and colors. Today, the breed has several growth varieties, which are separated into separate breeds. Highlights and interesting facts. Able to be alone, can easily endure the absence of the owners if they are not too long, easy to train and obedient. This dog is very attached to his owner, willing to learn and spend time with his human. This naturally makes it easier to learn. On the other hand, he is very sensitive and does not accept or forgive any form of cruelty. Therefore, it is necessary to show patience, consistency and kindness during the training sessions. His voice is sharp and strong. He raises his voice as soon as he hears an unusual sound or approaches a stranger. High-quality socialization and upbringing allow you to limit unpleasant barking. Incapable of escape, the German Spitz does not run away, especially because he is very loyal to his master. Can be destructive if understimulated and eventually bored. Otherwise, if all his needs are met, he is a wise and balanced dog. German Spitz are very sociable, cohabiting with their congeners without problems, although early socialization is required to allow the German Spitz puppy to develop and strengthen their dog codes. Very playful and cheerful by nature, this dog will make an ideal companion for children if they learn to communicate with him respectfully. The cheerfulness of this dog is quite suitable for older people, especially those who are most isolated. Although his needs for walking should not be ignored, he can quite adapt to a quiet life. Cohabitation with a cat is usually not a problem, especially if both species have grown together. Although they are not afraid of the cold, German Spitz are still domestic dogs, especially small and dwarf ones. Adult dogs can live outdoors, but prefer to be near their owners most of the time. They can live anywhere, but must always stay close to their owners, whom they love more than anything else. The German Spitz does not have fixed behavioral characteristics, so he is able to adapt to everything from the moment he is taught what is needed. He does not have a specific type of personality, but he is known to be lively, expressive, and sometimes a little moody. Their training must be very firm, and the family hierarchy must be introduced early. All Pomeranians are of a dominant nature, and if training is not adequate, they will run the entire household in accordance with their good will and will do whatever they please. Their stubbornness and tendency to power must be curbed very early. Despite their size, German Spitz dogs are excellent and courageous guardians. Their nature makes them react quickly, and they are very alert. Their steady upbringing will allow them to know their position in the family and thus avoid unnecessary aggression toward strangers. The history of the breed. The history of the German Spitz dates back to prehistoric times, as its characteristics correspond to the peat Stone Age and lake dog. Professor Theodor Studer from the University of Bern claims that dog bones found in archaeological excavations in Swiss lakes are similar to those of our modern Spitz. Therefore, we can say that all German Spitz have a Spitz ancestor. The ancestor of our current Spitz was often represented in Greek, Egyptian, Roman art, including the mosaics of Pompeii. Since the 18th century, it has been found in several European paintings. In 1793 Georges Stubbs depicted on canvas the dog of the Prince of Wales. Thomas Gainsborough introduced the Pomeranian in several of his paintings, as well as Burton Barber, who painted the Pomeranian of Queen Victoria. In the 19th century in France, he was given the name Lulu, which in 1895 became Lulu from Alsace, and, later, Lulu from Pomerania, giving the future Spitz a Germanic identity. Very quickly this dog becomes popular. Due to poorly controlled hybridization, the breed degenerates somewhat. Lulu becomes a noisy dog, aggressive, poorly built, without fur. He becomes a pug with a nasty reputation, then he is called a concierge dog. Fortunately, official cynophilia is aware of this phenomenon and is pushing breeders to respond. This will be done by importing English dogs, the selection of which has continued without loss of control of the species. It wasn't until 1961 that he officially took his modern name Spitz. In 1891, 14 Spitz were registered at Kraft's Dog Show. In 1880, Queen Victoria promoted the breed by entering and winning several dog shows. Many famous people had a Pomeranian: Martin Luther, Michelangelo, Mozart, George's III Marie Antoinette, Empress Josephine, Empress Eugenie, Émile Zola, Courteline, and, even closer to us, Claudius Schiffer. Appearance. The German Spitz is a standardized dog breed. Several modern breeds have been bred from the original German Spitz and include the Kieshend, Giant Spitz, Medium Spitz, Miniature Spitz and Pomeranian. All Spitz-type dogs are of German origin. The German Spitz dog comes in 5 sizes, each with a different color. All German Spitz have the same physical characteristics with some differences. They have a straight and strong construction, they are mostly smaller medium, but very strong. The beautiful collar of all these dogs is a common feature of all German Spitz. These little dogs are elegant and look a bit snobbish. The head of a German Spitz resembles a fox's head. He has a large skull in relation to the entire body. The eyes are medium in size, slightly elongated and dark in color. The small ears are well erect and triangular in shape. The variegated and very bushy tail is well straightened, folded forward and carried gracefully on the back. The average life expectancy of a German Spitz is 12 years. Despite their size, the Spitz is a tough dog. However, he may be susceptible to certain hereditary genetic disorders such as hyperuricasuria, a predisposition to urinary stones occurring at age 3 years. This disease causes excess uric acid in the blood, making it difficult to urinate, blood in the urine, urinary incontinence, abdominal pain, or bladder rupture after complications. Some breeders practice breeding black Spitz in this breed. Therefore, it is necessary that the dogs be tested earlier because 2 black Spitz cannot be crossed, as this can lead to the risk of deafness. Distinctive character traits. Affectionate, friendly and very playful, these little dogs are fun-loving and very close to their family. They are very suspicious of strangers and tend to be very vigilant when approaching strangers. The German Spitz is a very alert, lively and gentle dog who does everything to please his owners, to whom he is very attached. Although they are not afraid of the cold, small and dwarf German Spitz are dogs that can thrive in an urban environment without problems. Adults may live outdoors or in the garden. Despite its fragile appearance, the German Spitz is a tough dog that can surprise many. More and more of them are in agility clubs, where they are clearly not lagging behind. Moreover, walks should never be neglected, they should be daily, long enough. Pros and cons of German Spitz. Pros. The German Spitz is a lively dog, happy and awake. He is a great player, he will not hesitate to ask for a ball, to be thrown to him several times a day. In general, the German Spitz also keeps its baby soul longer than other dogs. Tireless, he sleeps little and will leave only a few minutes of respite for the owner, so he will need to set limits and stop playing sessions. In general, this breed is agile, discipline can be a good way for the dog and a way to develop the owner's relationship with him. Very sociable, he is not at all aggressive with other dogs or people, however he will be suspicious of strangers. This dog will warn in case of an unusual situation. Very close and very attached to his owner, he likes to be the center of attention, he likes to be taken care of, however he copes well with loneliness. Minuses. A Spitz's distrust of strangers can manifest as fear or even aggression if not properly managed, but with enough socialization, most German Spitz are more likely to simply ignore a visitor than be openly hostile towards them. The breed has a very low predatory instinct and generally gets along well with other pets but can be a nuisance and annoyance to young children. This is a dog that naturally tends to test boundaries with its owners from time to time, whether it be possession of a chair or attacking someone's flip-flops in retaliation for some insult, real or imagined. It is important that the owner is experienced and level-headed enough to deal with such incidents in a firm but sensible manner to keep the house in order. Maintenance and care. Even if the German Spitz would be happier living in the countryside, he adapts very well to city life, especially living in apartments. In any case, this is a dog that needs to spend time on long daily trips during which he can play sports and especially spend time with his teachers. The thick coat of the German Spitz requires regular and careful grooming with a soft brush. Brushing should be avoided so as not to break or tear the coat several times a week to keep the coat and skin in good condition. Combing is done in order to maintain the straight and thick appearance typical of this breed. When shedding, twice a year, hair loss is usually important. To add volume to the fur, it is recommended to comb the back. Instead of washing it, it is best to clean it with dry shampoo. German Spitz are very smart dogs that learn new things quickly and easily. Unfortunately, they are not easy to train. They often demand a lot of love and attention from their families. When this attention is absent or insufficient, they become stubborn and very difficult to train. However, when you show them the love and attention they crave, they will do anything to please the owner. This must be done with care, because when they understand that you are meek and always obey their demands, they also become stubborn. Despite being used as herding and guard dogs for most of their history, the German Spitz is most suited as a watchdog. Whenever a stranger appears, they bark excessively until the owner tells them to stop. Their sense of loyalty, humor, and playfulness also make them excellent companion dogs. Health. German Spitz is in good health. He is not afraid of the cold thanks to his thick fur. This dog does not have the health problems of its breed, but it is still susceptible to some diseases. For example, alopecia. Sometimes these dogs suffer from a hair disease called alopecia, which affects mostly whole male Nordic breeds, including Spitz. The hair gradually disappears around the neck, at the base of the tail and all over the body. This disease is also called black skin disease because the skin in these areas becomes dry and hyperpigmented. The cause may be an enzymatic dysfunction of the skin or changes in the action of genes that regulate hair growth. Tracheal collapse is a weakness in the wall of the main airways, resulting in fluctuations in the diameter of the airways with heavy breathing and as a result, a sharp cough. While this is more of a nuisance than a serious problem for many dogs, it can be exacerbated by obesity, and some severely affected dogs may benefit from a surgical implant to maintain tracheal patency. Epilepsy is a brain disorder of unknown cause that manifests itself as episodes of seizures or changes in consciousness. Progressive retinal atrophy is the most significant hereditary disease in the breed, a common cause of blindness in young adult dogs due to the death of sensory nerve cells in the eye. His health does not require special attention, but it is important to provide good nutrition and good quality, contributing to the good condition of the coat and skin. Like all small dogs, the German Spitz can also be prone to patellar luxations. You need to pay attention to his joints, which are relatively sensitive. Price and how to buy. Depending on the purpose of the purchase, the cost of the puppy will differ. Offspring without the possibility of exhibition and further breeding costs from $400. If there are plans for future puppies as parents, then the price increases by 2 to 3 times. Show-class puppies are even more expensive, and the price depends on the pedigree and what prizes were received by the parents of the puppies at various exhibitions. If you are looking for a show-class puppy, then you need to contact the breeders registered in the Unified International Register of Breeders, where there is a guarantee of pure blood. In this case, a contract of sale must be signed, where all the circumstances are prescribed in order to avoid misunderstandings. Buying a puppy in unreliable places is a huge risk of getting a dog similar to German Spitz, but not being it. While the dog is small, it is difficult to understand how the puppy meets the requirements.